Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every Thursday at 3 o'clock. It's all about the hashtag Good Vibes Lifestyle. So here I am again today to help you raise your vibration so you can thrive. This is so important because we are energetic beings, whether you believe it or not. And if you are watching, wherever you're watching from, you can actually comment. I can see your comments, put them on the screen. If you have questions, comments, I would love to hear them and see them. So I am so grateful that you're here today watching. And because I have got really some great information to share with you today. So let me go ahead and start with our astrological news. So we are in the waning phase of the moon, meaning we had the full moon a couple of weeks ago, and we are wrapping that up, that energy up. You know, the full moon is that maximum, then it starts reducing down. And this is the time, the way to use this energy is to integrate it's like when the full moon happens, that's where you have the harvest. That's where you have the culmination. So now you can take that harvest and integrate that information or process the information or projects, whatever it is that you're working on. This is the time to process and get all your ducks in a row, because with the new moon coming up this Sunday at on April 27th at 3:31 p.m. Eastern Time, we have a super full moon in the sign of Taurus. So what makes it super is because it's closer to the earth than usual, than it normally is. So it is going to appear a little bit bigger. It's going to have a little bit more of an impact on us, because whether it's a new moon or a full moon, the moon, it's tugging at us. It has an influence. It physically pulls on us and energetically pulls on the tides, the waters of the earth. We are 70% water, so it also affects us. So the new moon in Taurus, we want to think about what the Taurus energy is all about. And it's not only the new moon being in Taurus, but we're also in the season of Taurus. Taurus just started, I think, maybe yesterday, the astrological sign. And Taurus has to do with beauty and abundance, comfort, our values, and sensual pleasures. So, what's great to do when we have a new moon means a new lunar cycle, a new beginning. So it's always great to be in sync with the lunar cycle of the month, because then you're in the flow of the energy and you're working with the energy as opposed to fighting against it. So that's why I think it's really good to know this information. And thank you guys for watching, and for my little heart there too. So let's talk about how we can use this energy of the new moon in Taurus. Well, the best way, one of the ways you can use it, there are many ways, of course, is to focus what you want to bring into your life, your physical world, like money, security, a beautiful home, a thriving business, a healthy body. These are like the areas that Taurus rules. So it's always good to have that sense in your intentions. So I have some affirmations that you could actually use that kind of tie into that energy. So one of them is, I manifest consistent, joyful income through my aligned purpose. Another one is, I welcome lasting love that feels safe, sensual, and supportive. And here's another one. I nourish my body with grounding foods and feel strong in my skin. So, those are a couple of affirmations that give you the sense of what a new moon in Taurus is all about, what the energy of Taurus is all about. And Vicky Smith, she's watching and saying hello. Hi, Vicky. I like your little emoji there. Okay, so those are some things regarding the astrology that's happening. So, new moon coming up this Sunday, great time to kind of wrap up the energy of the end of this lunar cycle and get ready for a new beginning and new cycle, and tune it into something that has to do with the Taurus energies. Um, all right, so let's now move to the cosmos and to UFO and UAP disclosure. And I've got some great new information here about that. And that has to do with Anna Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who is from Florida, well, she heads up the task force for the declassification of government secrets. So this task force specifically had to do with UFO and UAP disclosure, but then they also expanded their focus to include high-profile disclosures like the JFK, RFK, and MLK assassination files. So some of the people in the UFO disclosure area were concerned that they were not going to focus on UAPs, and then lo and behold, we come up with this information from Representative Paulina, and she announced the timeline of the investigation that they're doing. And this is her particular task force. So on April 29th, there's going to be a skiff brief with UAP. Experts, and that's going to just be amongst the legislators. Let's see, the briefing will take place, allowing members of Congress to meet directly with UAP experts and receive secure updates on the phenomenon. That's why they're meeting in the skiff. So this is private amongst the Congress people that are, I guess, that are interested. Then on April 30th, they are doing a briefing allowing the members of Congress. Oh no, I just said that. Okay, members of Congress. So that's the roundtable. Sorry about that. The April 30th is the roundtable with experts, officials, and members of Congress. Then on May 1st, there's a congressional uh, staff briefing by the UAP Disclosure Fund, and that's entitled Understanding UAP Science, National Security, and Innovation. And so that's something that the congressional staff will get debriefed on May 1st. And then finally, the week of May 12th, we'll be able to see this is a public hearing that they will do on the UFO UAP disclosure. And this is supposed to be before the House Oversight Committee. It says that this hearing will bring the UAP discussion directly to the American people and mark a new stage in the fight for government transparency. So just know that things are happening in Congress. And the big week to look at is May 12th. And as we get closer to that, I will share with you, how to watch it live if you want to, or watch the replay. So I want to say about a year ago, was when David Grush went before the Congress. So they're gearing up again, and we'll have new experts that'll be speaking before the Congress, before this particular task force. And again, this is disclosure. They are talking, they are going to be sharing what the government knows, what they have, this kind of thing. So very exciting times and information. So if you are wanting to get more involved, you can actually join the Citizens for Disclosure. And the way that you do that is just go to newparadigminstitute.org. So, Citizens for Disclosure is the volunteer group under the New Paradigm Institute, which is run by Danny Sheehan. And they've been behind the legislative push to get disclosure happening. And so this is the time that we as citizens need to get involved to kind of put that pressure, because you can put so much pressure from the other end of it, but we need the ground, movement pressure from the people. And yeah, and I'm involved with this. I'm actually one of the co-coordinators of Florida, the state of Florida. So if you have joined and you're in Florida, then I'll be contacting you. And my co-lead is Dr. Melanie Barton. So I'm hoping one day to do an interview with her so you can get to know her as well. And let's see, the other thing that I wanted to share with you regarding UFO disclosure is that I did finally get my second episode of my interview with Craig Richards about UFOs and UAPs, and the tiny URLs on the screen will be in the description as well. You can catch that part two. It just released. Very interesting information. And if you're not caught up in what's going on with UAPs, watch my two videos, because this will give you a good sense of what's going on and where we're at right now. All right. So let's move on to the Oracle of the month. So this month, and since we're at the end of the month here, um, we will. This is the last time I'll be working with the Healing the Inner Child Oracle by Nina Mongendre. And let me pull up on the screen the camera so you can see. This is the box. And yeah, let's shuffle some cards and ask Spirit to give us some information about what it is that we need to know right now, whether you're watching in live or the replay. If you're sincere in your quest or your question for the universe to answer, if you're genuine and sincere, you always get an answer. It may not be the answer you want, but you do get a response. So, this is the card that I am pulling for us today. So, how interesting. This has to do with safety. Very interesting because we're talking about Taurus, and Taurus like to be very secure. The energy of Taurus is very secure. So, this is number three, their number three card that she's got. And let me read you from the book what safety is all about. So, the invitation is: many of us did not feel safe growing up. You might have experienced unsafe physical or emotional environments. There might not have been an adult you could go to when you were in distress. As a result, you may spend most of your life reacting to potential invisible threats, which exhaust your nervous system. We cannot access our sense of joy, belonging, and connection when our survival brain is activated. If you drew this card, take a moment to assess if you need a glass of water, some food, a warm blanket, or a sweater. Tend to these needs first. Are you comfortable right now? Look around. Are you safe from danger? Check in with your toes, your legs, and your breath. This card invites you to soothe your nervous system and offer yourself support so that with time and repetition, you feel safer with your feelings. Now, this part about the inner child. Can you recall a moment in your childhood when you felt completely safe and trusting, like the child in this image? Allow yourself to revisit that memory. If nothing comes to mind, we invite you to visit this image and imagine yourself as this child. Feel the support of the tree, the warm, soft breeze, and the peacefulness of the scene. Engage all of your senses as you breathe, focusing on lengthening the exhalation. Say out loud, "We are safe. This is safe." And here is the part about under the title of journey. Bring your hands behind your neck, just like this child in this image, and interlace your fingers and lean back. Without turning your head, look to your left with your eyes looking as far left as you can and breathe. Once you feel the body release in some way, whether it's a yawn, a sound, a sigh, or swallowing, bring your eyes all the way to the right and breathe deeply. Wait for a release on this side. Then come back to center and inhale deeply. Hold the breath for a moment and exhale as you release your arms. Use this technique anytime you want to bring yourself into a state of presence and calm. So I like this deck because she does give you, she's talking about the psychology of, our childhood and dealing with the inner child, and healing some of the issues that we've had when we were younger. And what I really think is cool about this was she's talking about a lot about the qualities of Taurus, which we were just talking about. So the qualities of Taurus have to do with sensuality, with slowing down, with being in our body, with grounding ourselves, right? So, yeah, very interesting. Safety and yeah, safety and security is very important to Tauruses for sure. All right. So if you like this, deck and you'd like to get a hold of it, you can actually go to my Amazon store. And the way to get there is just go to www.good-vibes.tv. Okay, so let me tell you about a couple of activities and events coming up. Get on your calendar. Um, the first one here is Longevity with Light. I have that next webinar coming up with my co host, Beth Steele, Tamisa Leiden, and um, Rachel Marriott. Those are my co-hosts, and our special guest coming up this month is Dr. Debbie Beaver, and she is. And let me put the date on here so you can put it on your calendars. It's on Thursday, May 8th, at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And so, Dr. Debbie Beavers is going to talk about the Alavita patch, which has to do with skin rejuvenation, hormone balance, and vibrancy, just general vitality. So she's going to be telling us all about the Alavita patch and how this light technology works. So that's going to be really great. And the way you can register for this free webinar is go to tinyurl.com/longevity May 2025 with the capital L on longevity and a capital M on May. So go there, register. It's free, and then you'll get the emails that'll remind you when it is. So please join me. It's really going to be great. Okay, and if you last week I told you about this Food Revolution docu-series that is happening right now. It just started yesterday, and yesterday was great information. And what's cool about this summit that Ocean Robbins does is that it's an 8-day event, and so it's free. You can buy the whole package if you want to, but I like watching each episode, and then you have 24 hours till the next episode drops to catch up if you didn't catch it live. So yesterday's was kind of general, but a lot chock full of information. And today's was just about brain health and how important, what we eat affects our brain and all of that, health. They talked a lot about dementia, Alzheimer's, and foods that are great for kind of combating that. So this Food Revolution docu-series, it's called Healthy People, Healthy Planet. They're going to have 45 of the world's top doctors, researchers, and wellness experts speaking during this 8-day event. So the way you can sign up for that is just go to tinyurl.com/capital GVTV Food Summit. And this way you can get today's episode, and so you're only missing one of them, which was yesterday. So I definitely sign up for that. Even if you just get to watch 20% of all the videos, you'll get that much more information. And his information, it's new. Even though they do this every year, they're updating, they're adding new studies. And so I would say this is the latest information on our, health in regards to what we eat and a plant-based diet. It's amazing when people switch to a plant-based diet, their illnesses and diseases go away, they get healed because the body can heal itself. It's just we have to give it to proper nutrition, eat the right things, not the processed food, not the sugar, not the alcohol, not all the things. So anyway, l- watch it for yourselves, and hopefully it'll inspire you to and give you the tools to eat healthier. All right, my friends. So let's talk now about the tip of the week to raise your vibration. So last week's tip of the week was to practice self care. And actually, that's a very Taurus or Taurian um, um, quality too. Tauruses are very sensual. And so they love getting massages or giving massages. And practicing self care, self love, self care. It's important to set aside the time to take care of ourselves, meaning like loving ourselves, really treating ourselves the way we treat other people, because usually we're loving everybody else and we're forgetting ourselves, we're neglecting ourselves. So it's important to make ourselves a priority and take care of ourselves, whether it's just giving us the time to just really decompress, before we get into another project or whatever it is. So let's talk about this week's tip of the week. So this tip is to savor one moment fully. And so we're talking about the Taurus energy, and Taurus is all about being present and enjoying the simple pleasures of life, right? So when you slow down and truly savor something, you instantly raise your vibration and align with abundance. So choose one thing today. And this could be today or it could be on the new moon. It doesn't matter because we're in this Taurus energy anyway. The sun is in the sign of Taurus. So choose one thing today and don't multitask and give your full attention to this one thing. This could be as easy as, you know, being fully present when you're sipping your tea or drinking your coffee and really taste it, right? Really feel all the feelings in your body of that, just really the whole experience. Or feel the sun and the breeze on your skin, like we did in the picture of the little of the child. With the breeze and feeling the skin. I remember as a child that used to love hanging out in the background and just in the summer and watching the trees just move and the sound of the breeze, and the rustling and the bees and the beautiful flowers. And so, being present, really savoring our present moment and whatever it is that we're, sensually feeling is a um, I guess an art because we're so used to multitasking and trying to do as much as we can, and we're doing so many different things that scatters us. So to be present and savor one moment fully. Here's some other ideas as to other things you can do to experience that one moment. You can listen to a song and soak in every note, like fully immerse yourself in the song. Or you can run your fingers through a soft blanket or a scarf. And as you're doing all these things, here's an affirmation that you can say. This moment is enough. I am safe. I am blessed. And I am tuned into joy. So I hope this tip is something that you'll get a chance to practice and experience. And I want to thank you for watching today and, wish you the best in everything that you're doing as we come upon a new month. We're coming up on next week with May 1st coming and also the new moon cycle that starts on Sunday. So, again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it so much. And I wish you the best this next week. And if you enjoyed any of this or got some good value from this content, please share, subscribe on my YouTube channel, share with your friends, let people know because I am growing this channel. And the best way you can say thank you if you do get something from this is to just subscribe and share, just get the word out. So I appreciate it. And Vicky, she's giving me a star. Thank you for my star, Vicky. Appreciate it. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Peace out.